Hey y'all, DJ Dum Ditty with the Dum Ditty news and a new t-shirt, y'all, backed by unpopular demand. This is popular by demand, a little t-shirt I picked up while I was driving, picked up right off of, hey, hang on a minute, the universe is off kilter, something ain't right. Oh, I know. DJ Dum Ditty needs his hat, y'all. Hi, DJ Dum Ditty and the Dum Ditty news. Welcome back. Today is Sunday, June the 4th. Oh, y'all can't see me over there, can you? Ha ha ha. Today is Sunday, June the 4th. Here's what's happening in the world today. First up, current news. London Bridge is falling down, y'all. Hang on, I gotta put that down a little bit. It's falling down. The van jumps a curb over there, starts running down pedestrians. There are shots fired nearby in what Britain is calling a major incident, y'all. London Bridge isn't actually falling down yet, but my guess is the terrorists have been doing a lot of action over there, and with that old nursery rhyme, it's just a matter of time before some terrorist somewhere tries to bring London Bridge down. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Keep a lookout for it. CNN host Reza Aslan calls out POTUS Trump after he uses the latest England terror to invoke his travel ban. Reza Aslan calls POTUS a piece of shit and a stain on the presidency. When he called and asked for comment, the FBI answered and said they never heard Aslan. Just because he's got a weird Muslim name doesn't mean they got him. And they don't know nothing about him talking about the president like that. Alright, maybe he needs to check in with Facebook. Facebook activates a safety check, y'all, after the latest terror incidents is over in London. You get a little checklist over there on Facebook, and you can just check on, hey, I'm safe, I'm alive. Lets all your loved one knows if you're in an area that is struck by terror, and sadly that's a real thing in today's world. You can go ahead and do the safety check over there on Facebook. Alright, here's what happened in history. I was on this date in 781 that the Chinese recorded the first solar eclipse, y'all, 781 BC. We're not sure, but we think that the person who observed it, his name was Sun Dun Gon. It was on this date in 1070 that Roquefort cheese is created in a cave near France. Might be why it smells like shit. Or mold. It was on this date in 1812 that the Louisiana Purchase is renamed the Missouri Territory. How the hell did that happen, man? I know it's Louisiana and all, but daggone it, y'all just don't need to take all of our stuff from us. It was on this date in 1876 that the first transcontinental train, by the name of the Transcontinental Express, travels from New York to San Francisco in a record-breaking 83 hours and 39 seconds. Now, since you can't be in a Mile High Club on an airplane, you get to ride in the caboose. Unfortunately, on that 83-hour ride, the caboose was never rocking for more than 30 seconds at a time, if you know what I'm saying. It was on this date in 1896 that Henry Ford takes his first vehicle on a maiden voyage through the streets of Detroit. We think the maiden was probably none other than Mrs. Ford. It was on this date in 1912 Massachusetts passes the first ever minimum wage law. And as is common, it was lower than minimum wage. It was on this date in 1929 George Eastman demonstrates his first Technicolor movie. Y'all, this was in Rochester, New York, shortly after the Mr. Eastman, Eastman Kodak, something like that. Shortly after demonstrating that first Technicolor movie, porn followed. It was on this date in 1942 that the Battle of Midway begins, and on this date in 1954 that Arthur Murray flies the X-1A airplane a record 27,000 meters, y'all. That's the same as about 16 3/4 miles. Now, if he'd have jerked himself off, would that count as being in the Mile High Club? It was on this date in 1963 that the BBC radio plays Pop Go to Beatles for the first time. Well, what I wouldn't do to get a copy of that. If you can come across it, I promise you that's worth a little bit of money. On this date in 1974, the NFL grants a franchise for the Seattle Seahawks, who would then toil around in mediocrity for the next 25 years. Here's a fun event, y'all. 1974, Cleveland had a promotion for their baseball, for the Cleveland Indians, where they promoted 10-cent beer night. It was quite popular, as you can imagine. In fact, the Cleveland Indians had to forfeit the game versus, who were they playing? Apparently we didn't write that part down. Anyway, 10-cent beer night caused the Indians to forfeit a 5-5 game. Because the fans were so drunk and unruly, they stormed the field, they harassed the other players. It was unable to commence or to finish the game. It was never repeated, and probably why beer costs $10 at a ball game these days. Can you believe that, y'all? $10 for a daggone beer? That's what they charge down here at the new Atlanta Braves Stadium they just built here in Atlanta, Georgia. They have draft beer, y'all. Draft beer. Draft. That's right, draft beer. We talking draft beer. As I'm doing my impression, right? We doing draft beer for $10.50. You don't even get a souvenir cup. I mean, daggone, I get my coffee cup. At least this thing's styrofoam. You know what I'm saying? You can't even get that there at the ball field. $10.50 for a beer, all because of 10-cent beer night back in 1974 at the Cleveland Indians. It was on this date in 1984, Bruce Springsteen released Born in the USA, very popular song. And an unrelated story, DNA is successfully cloned from an extinct animal. Folks, I don't make this stuff up. They just come together the way they do. It was on this date in 1989, leading 10-0 in the seventh. The Boston Red Sox lose to the Toronto Blue Jays 12-11 in 12 innings. And also, lucky number 12 here, it was the 12th consecutive win by the Torontos at Fenway Park. Sad news, in 1989, it was on this date, Tiananmen Square massacre happened where over 1,000 students were killed. It was on this date in 1990 that Dr. Death, a.k.a. Jack Kevorkian, begins a national debate on assisted suicide after helping an Oregon woman do just that. That takes care of the news. Here's what's happening in the birthdays. Oh, hey, y'all, 1932, Hollywood Titan and father to Drew Barrymore. In fact, it's his middle name. John Drew Barrymore is born. It was on this date, 1937, musician Freddie Fender, baby, play that air guitar. Wow! Yeah, Freddie Fender's born in 1937. 1961, it was El DeBarge. You know him. He's a singer as well. And in 1968, R&B singer Al B. Shore was born. In 1971, Noah Weil, who you might remember as Dr. John Carter from ER, he was born in Hollywood, California. And finally, in 1975, was American bombshell Angelina Jolie, born on this date, June the 4th, in 1975, in wonderful sunny California. Folks, that takes care of the news. This is the Dum Ditty News with DJ Dum Ditty. Don't forget to go by our website at GoFundMe.com. Help us make a donation for an invention we got coming up. You got to get your donations in if you want to get you one. Talk to you soon. That's the news.